Hello, this is Smoke and Joe Gamer with another episode of Holiday Buying Guide 2024. Alright, and this is the Marvel vs. Capcom collection on Nintendo Switch. So as you can see, this has all of them. Look at this. You get X-Men Children of the Atom. Then they did Marvel Superheroes, because it's like, hey, it's not just X-Men, now there's more people. And then they did X-Men vs. Street Fighter, and that was a big deal. This was the first tag team crossover fighting game that they did. Then they expanded it to include, more Marvel characters, but it was still just Street Fighter. Then they did Marvel vs. Capcom, and it was like, okay, now they can pick anybody they want from either universe, right? It's pretty cool. And then Marvel vs. Capcom 2 is when they said, okay, now we're going to do a 3 vs. 3 format and just throw in as many people as we can, and it's an unbalanced mess of a game. But this is just such an amazing collection, because up to this point, a lot of these games had not been re-released, or at least not on platforms that people cared about. Like, I still had a Japanese Saturn copy of this game, but you can play the ROMs and stuff, but yeah, this is an official, legitimate release of these games. It's reasonably priced for what you're getting, and it came out earlier this year, so it was worth covering for my segment here. But man, I have a lot of memories of playing these games in the arcade.
X-Men, Children of the Atom.
Although, again, playing them on console was tricky, because you would have had to have, like, a hacked Sega Saturn. Look at this. Yeah. So I'm just going to quickly go through each game. I was practicing the other day to get ready for this. So right now I'm on the default settings.
Round one.
Yeah. I think that's Colossus. So this one has a bunch of different attack buttons. Oh, I was taunting him. Okay. Oh, ow. And then you had these super combo type moves that could be tough to pull off, unfortunately. Yeah, this game's hard. Okay. But basically, here's your controls. I'm using the Switch Pro controller. I can also use my 6-button controller if I want, but these are not the buttons that I want. Let me switch back to this. Okay, yes. Struggling a little bit with the controls. But then, so this is like your default setting here, but you can do, yeah. I prefer to do the wide setting, but if you really want to get the original arcade experience, you got to have the scan lines, right? So you have a few different scan line options. There's horizontal, vertical, and then there's some. This filter is like, ugh, that's gross looking, huh? This is with different filtering in place. Yeah. This game's fucking hard. This is the default difficulty too, by the way. But yeah, that's gross looking. This is with nothing done to it, and then you can get scan lines. So just so you can see what it was like to try to play these games on original hardware. Yeah, I'm just getting my ass kicked here. Yeah, this game's hard. Yeah, I played this in the arcade a bunch of times. And of course, Wolverine is probably the cheapest character in the game. And I watched, the cartoon series when I was a kid, so, like, to have those same kind of character models and the same voices from that show, that was great. Drew Claw. Yeah, take that. Yeah, he just fucking blocks everything. Come on, you jerk. Yeah, so, okay, so that's that game. That's enough of that. And you have separate settings for each game, so yeah, that's on a difficulty of 4. Like, fuck you, Capcom. Yeah, I love trying to play games on what Capcom calls normal. Alright, so let's just jump into this one then. This one I didn't play as a kid. But now here's the thing, though. You gotta be careful because each game has its own controls. So depending on which controller I'm using, I've got to go in each time and make sure it's correct. And then again, you got to do this. So I now know that 4 is just too hard for me. It's fine. But yeah, so these are the arcade ROMs. You have the English and Japanese versions.
Marvel superheroes.
Let's just move right along here. You know, I don't want to be here all day. A lot to cover. Yeah, so you can see that's like, oh, let's bring in Hulk, Iron Man, Captain America. And then I think Thanos is the boss in this one. I don't know if he's playable. And this is before the Civil War story arc, too. And it can be hard to do some of these moves, honestly. There we go. Ugh, of course he fucking blocked it. I like fighting games, don't get me wrong. I'm just not that good at them sometimes, and I don't always have the patience for them. So, yeah, that's what this one does. Let's see here. So, I'm just saying I really don't care for this. I'm going to go wide, and I'm just going to go type... Yeah, I'm going to go none. So there's no filtering going on. No margins, no wallpaper. It's pretty sharp, but that's what I like. Scan lines kind of give me a headache. Ooh, 7-hit combo. Cool. Alright. You see, so I lowered the difficulty just a little bit, and look how easy it is. So, a lot of Capcom fighting games are like that. Like in Street Fighter 6, when you play against a level 4 CPU, it's fine. You can mash buttons, and it's not even hard. But then you bump it up to 5, and it starts to get a little challenging. And then at 6, it's like, forget it. They block everything. So there really is... you know, sometimes there's just too much of a gap between difficulty levels in some of these games. And Juggernaut is fucking broken. Yeah. See, he doesn't flinch when you hit him, usually. He does way too much damage, too much range. Yeah, he's an asshole. I can't stand him. Yeah. And I don't know how to do all the super combos in this game. Yeah. But actually, another thing you can do, though, real quick, is... Yeah, you can set it up so that your infinity special moves are mapped to one button. I don't think it's cheating, because, you know, they're not that hard to do to begin with. But then that way you don't have to, like, remember how to do each one. Yeah, Juggernaut is an asshole. Yeah, but it barely hurt him, though. So there you go. Yeah. So there you go.
Thumbs up, soldier.
Honestly, in my opinion, those two are just, you know, these are early on. Yeah, I really don't like these two as much as the later ones. That's not really why you would get this collection anyways. This is why you get the collection, because these 4 games are absolutely worth playing. They each have something unique to offer. Oh, actually, hang on. I gotta back out of this. Hang on. I'm gonna switch to the Japanese version of this, because this game was not released in the US on the Saturn. And I think there was a version of this for PlayStation, but it didn't let you switch characters or something. Like, the PS1 ports of these games were bad. But the Saturn ports only came out in Japan. So. And there it is. I'm actually pretty good at this one most of the time. But this game is a big deal. I played this in the arcade a lot. It was a lot of fun. And once again, gotta check the controls. I wish you could just do, like, universal controls for it, but it's probably better this way. And to do the super combos, you just do the quarter circle and then press 2 of the attack buttons. And then you... Yeah, and this still had 6 attack buttons, and then you just hit hard kick, hard punch to switch. And this has, like, the crazy air combos if you can figure out how to do them. Which I usually can't. Berserker Claw! Yeah. So you can do a double super combo, but good luck actually hitting them with it. Yeah. I played this a lot in the arcade. And then I had a Japanese Saturn copy. And up to this point I was just playing it on emulators, but this is just so great. And this is the Switch version, which is fine, because these are old games from, you know, the 90s. They're fine. You don't need to get the PS4 version. But it didn't come out for Xbox yet, which is odd. Ah! And thankfully, in this one, Akuma's Raging Demon only uses 1 bar, so that's great. Yeah. So he's a semi-hidden character. All you gotta do is press up to get to him. But really, I think this collection's worth every penny, especially if you've never played them before. But just keep in mind, these are Capcom fighting games from the 90s. They're pretty difficult if you don't know what you're doing. And there's no shame in lowering the difficulty because, you know, it's bullshit. Capcom loves to screw you over in these old games. But, like, I don't think there was anything else really like this at the time. This was just the ultimate crossover fighting game. With the tag team jumping in and out. Like that. Yeah, and Rogue's whole thing is that she makes out with you and steals your power, so she gets one of your moves. Do your super combo, damn it! There we go. There we go. Yeah. This is actually my favorite of all the crossover fighting games they did. Because I just think it had a good character roster. Even though Juggernaut's an asshole. And Gambit can be kind of annoying. I still think this is a pretty balanced character roster here. I think it's pretty polished. This is the CPS2 engine, so this came out after Street Fighter Alpha 1 and 2. And that's how you get, you know, Charlie and stuff. So just a very good graphics engine, very good art style. Pretty balanced game, pretty easy to do combos and stuff. I think this is one of the most beginner-friendly ones on the collection here. Yeah. Of course, I can't do any of those ridiculous air combos when I want to. I don't know anybody who can. Yeah. But that's the thing, this is the third fight, and they're already, like, pulling out all the stops to screw me over. Oh, no, he got me. So the Street Fighter characters play the same way they do in Alpha 2, which is fine. That was actually my favorite Street Fighter game back in the day. Because I had a Saturn. Take that, Blondie. Yeah, and then the stages change, and you can do like a super jump. So just some cool stuff in this game, definitely. There we go. Alright. But it's also just great to see the progression from one game to the next, you know? Like, I'm so glad they didn't just release yet another version of Marvel vs. Capcom 2. And I don't even like that one that much. I prefer the 2 vs. 2 format. And the smaller character roster meant it was just a little more polished and a little more balanced. In 2, I just feel like they slapped in as many people as they could and didn't make much of an attempt to balance it. And just these straight-up 2D sprites and backgrounds are just better than the 3D stuff they're trying to do at the time. Yeah, look how much damage that does. So he is the hidden character, although he's not hard to access. But as usual, he's got really high damage, but low health compared to other characters. Would you stop? Jeez. Sometimes they just keep spamming the same move. It's really annoying. Yeah. So Capcom tends to go easy on you on like the first 3 fights. But then they're just like, oh, you're not dying? Okay, screw you. Alright. Oh. And that can happen sometimes too. You just instantly get knocked out of your super combo. Still got it. Nice.
Go win.
All right. We are having fun, aren't we?
Yes. Ready. Fight.
So let's see if I can beat this one, and then I'll move on to the other ones. Like I said, I wanted to give this one a lot of time because it's my favorite one in the collection. And it's, you know, the one that kind of started it all, too.
Up the glass. Up the glass. Up the glass. Jeez, light.
So yeah, this didn't get a PS5 or Series X version, and that wouldn't have been necessary anyways. But you can also get this on PS4 and Steam. But as you can see, the Switch version looks and runs just fine. 1080p, 60 FPS. And you can make it look the way it used to with the scan lines and all that, or you can do what I'm doing and just stretch it all out. That's how I like to play. Ooh! So for most characters, if you just do a crouching hard punch, you can launch them up in the air. But I think that's one of the things you can program in with the controls. Just whatever each character's launch move is. Ryu's kicking my ass. And then Cyclops is also really annoying in this game. Jesus Christ. Screw you, Ryu. There we go. Alright. But this is one of the easier and more fair games in the collection, I would say.
Ready. Fight.
So personally, I don't think that like Dalsum and Zangief really belong in this game. I don't know why people love those characters so much either. Like Zangief's fun to play in like Street Fighter 5 and 6, but in the old games he was not fun to play at all, and even less fun to play against. Yeah, the computer cheated. Yeah, oh, that super combo's busted, huh? If you can actually hit with it. Now this is the classic matchup we want to see, right? Yeah. Die! There we go. I've been trying to do that this whole time. Finally got it to work. Ow. Drill Claw! Tornado Claw! Hey, bub. So yeah, the same voice actors as the cartoon, I think. And you should watch X-Men 97 on Disney+. Absolutely recommend that. There we go. Okay. But yeah, these games just become completely unfair, though, when you raise the difficulty. And God help you if you try to play online, because there's people who mastered these games, you know, 30 years ago, and you're not going to beat them. You're not going to land a single hit on some of these people online, let me tell you. And somebody was telling me how in Marvel vs. Capcom 2, the roster is not balanced, and people have known forever who the broken characters are. Oh, look, Psylocke and Dan. That's why they're not in the game. Apocalypse captured them. Wow. Oh, and I forgot he has this downward kick move in this game. I think I already beat it with Akuma and Sabretooth, though. Yeah, that's the only time he's really cheap, is when he does that stupid drill move. Okay. So, he doesn't fuck around. Continue. Okay, so who have I not beaten it with yet? Oh yeah, he's Nash because it's the Japanese version, right? This is the other team that I like. So Charlie is basically just Guile, but that's okay. Now, I just love these games, if you couldn't tell. Well, I mean, I was struggling with the first two that I tried, but I'm just better with the Street Fighter characters for the most part. Oh, jeez. Yeah, look how much chip damage that does. It's not even fair. But for the most part, if you can keep spamming these, you know, super combos, then you're good. Yeah, see? So, that's it. He only has one phase. And then you gotta fight your partner. Kind of almost did a air combo there. Yeah, so Gambit kind of plays like Vega with a projectile, and that makes him very dangerous and fun. He fucking blocked it. I hate when they're already blocking before you even start doing it, you know? It's stupid. That's why you gotta incorporate it into a combo. Good luck doing that, though. Yeah, and his projectile just went through mine. See, I used to think he was saying credit card. He's saying kinetic card. I would have beaten him already if he didn't keep fucking blocking my super combos. Yes. But this is what it is. It's kind of random. They'll just randomly do this like 8-hit combo. Like it's nothing. So now what? Okay. Now it just keeps repeating until I win. But with these games, if you keep losing, eventually they just feel sorry for you and just kind of let you win. Yeah, so make sure you're playing as Gambit when you win, because otherwise you'll have to play against him, and you don't want to do that. It's annoying. I'm gonna say that better hit him because he was jumping right into it. So. So obviously this collection is going to appeal more to people in my age group who actually played these games in the arcade. I'm not sure how younger audiences will do with these games. They are difficult. They are still Capcom fighting games. So if you don't like Street Fighter, then you're probably not going to like these games that much. But it's just a great collection, a great piece of video game history right here. And like I said, this is a legitimate way to play them without using ROMs and emulators. Or without having to buy a Saturn and track down a used Japanese copy on eBay and then get like that special cartridge, you know, for the region bypass. So, no idea what's happening. Oh, he got captured. Oh boy. Oh, but then Guile saves him. Nash's friend. Okay. Nice. So there you go. So I'm going to jump into the other games real quick, and then that'll be it for this video. But no, I highly recommend this to fans of fighting games, fans of Street Fighter, fans of X-Men, or people who just want to see a piece of video game history. But that having been said, these games are not for everyone. I mean, there are plenty of settings to make it easier. And playing against friends is fun, but I will probably never play these games online. I just don't have the patience to deal with teabagging and other nonsense like that. So, as you can see, they're like, okay, well, let's bring in some more Marvel people instead of just Street Fighter. And then we're going to put in Ken, Ryu, Dan, Akuma, and Sakura, who all have the same fighting style. Oops, running out of time here. Sakura! And this one's got some hidden characters. Yeah, they also made it easier to get secret characters. You don't have to, like, know the full combination. So this game is noticeably more difficult, and it can be tough to pull off some of the combos. And then at the end, after you beat Apocalypse, you have to fight Cyber Akuma. And he is in the game as a hidden character in this version. So he wasn't playable in all versions of the game, but in this version he is. Yeah. And the game just goes ballistic when you pull off those end-of-round super combos. So, the only thing is I wish there was just a reset button so you don't have to quit out and then go back in. And the Japanese version has a character that's not in the other English version. And he's ridiculous. Norimaru! And there's Dark Sakura. Just hold start when you pick Hulk. So I'm not going to tell you who all the hidden people are, but just try holding start on each character and you'll figure it out. So I held start and pressed hard punch just now to get her. So this guy is only in the Japanese version. He's ridiculous. And Shumagorath is ridiculous as well. So this is where they started to get silly, you know? X-Men vs. Street Fighter was still a very serious fighting game for the most part, but this is just like, no, we're just gonna get ridiculous now. It's fine. There we go. Dark Sakura, who does have the Raging Demon, which is nice. Oh, ow. Damn you, Dan. I thought we were pals. Let's see if I got it. Oh! Yes! It's a level 3, though. And it only works if you're playing as the Dark or Sunburnt Sakura, as she's sometimes called. So it's just harder to do the super combos in this one, I'm finding. Yeah. This is another game that you can get the Japanese Saturn version, but I think the PS1 English port wasn't very good, if I remember correctly. So... I'm just going to show you this trick real quick. Just hold start when you pick him, and he has more health, so you only get one character now. But he can shoot missiles, so he's the boss of this game after you kill Apocalypse. That was a nice surprise at the end. And look how freaking... Look at all this damage he does. He's insane. Love it. But it was nice to have Dan in the game. He's fun, you know? So I believe this would have come out after Alpha 2, but before Alpha 3. So, yeah. You can see it's a very similar game, just slightly different character roster. And now we're going to do Marvel vs. Capcom. So this game you can play on the Dreamcast, but I don't recommend trying to use the Dreamcast controller for this friggin' game because of the D-pad and the fact that you only have 4 face buttons. So up to this point, that's how you would have gotten that game. So you can see there's some hidden characters, Shadow Lady, and then you get this alternate version of Morrigan, which is actually Lilith. And you can see right off the bat, it's like, oh gee, they brought in Mega Man, Morrigan, Strider, and then this was the first one to have Venom. Then they did War Machine instead of Iron Man. So that's fine. And then there's 2 other hidden characters that you still have to put in the combination, and that's an alternate version of Captain America, and there's Shadow, which is just Charlie with, you know, no face. He's trapped in shadow. So Roll is like Mega Man, but worse. So just be careful with her. Yeah, so this one's fun to play, even to this day. This just has a good character roster, some interesting hidden characters. This is fun to play with friends, but I don't recommend trying to play online. You'll get murdered. You've been warned. Yes, look, she has Lilith's moveset. And she's got her own Raging Demon type move, see? Look at that. So for the most part, you're just going to be spamming those super combos. So the hidden version of Venom does a lot more damage, but also has less health, so do be careful there. Yeah. And then Zangief can be a pain because sometimes he doesn't flinch when you hit him. But he can also be hard to play as because his fighting style just doesn't do well in this style of game, I would say. You know, just good luck actually pulling off his grabbing moves. Although he does have more mobility than he does in Street Fighter. But I really don't think that the grappler or wrestler type characters really belong in these types of fighting games. And that's roll. So she's just female Mega Man, you know. But we like roll, don't we? She's cute. Yeah, and she is supposed to have Mega Man's other moves. Tornado Ball! Tornado Ball. Oh, God. Zangief, you monster. How can you do that to a little girl? Actually, I don't know how much armor Zangief has in this one. And remember, too, this one is still the 2 vs 2 format. It still has 6 attack buttons, which is what Street Fighter had. And I can confirm that the Retrobit 6-button controller for the Genesis Mini console does work on Switch and does work with this game. So, you just gotta remap the buttons, though, and then you gotta remap them each time you open a different game, you know. Yeah, separate controls, or separate options for each game, rather. So, there we go. So at the end of this game, you gotta fight Onslaught, and he cheats blatantly. And he's hard to hit. And last time I played through this, it took me like 10 tries to beat him. But then another new feature of this game is you can get an assist character to jump in. You have a certain number of uses of that. And I forgot to mention that in Marvel Superheroes vs. Street Fighter, you can have your partner jump in to do an assist attack. I don't know what game she's from, but that's fine. Thanks for your help, Angel Girl. Do your goddamn super combo. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to quit out and just show you some other characters, and then I'll jump into the next game, and then that'll be it. So, that's all good. Alright. Yeah, so then Golden War Machine can't block, but also doesn't flinch when he gets hit. So that's what she does. She shoots missiles. And then she shoots the giant laser beam. So, yeah. This is alternate Chun-Li. She's fun. Yeah, and then Venom does this instead of his leaping slash. Yeah. So, more damage, but also less health, so do be careful playing as him. Yeah. Yeah, see how fast he dies if you don't block. So. Nice. So this is fun. I like this one a lot. Yeah, I would say X-Men vs. Street Fighter and Marvel vs. Capcom are my favorites in this whole collection. And then this Punisher arcade game, it's fine. I mean, it's cool that it's on here and all, but it's basically just like a Final Fight game where you just play as Punisher and Nick Fury. And in some cases, I don't know the difference between the English or Japanese. Like, I know Marvel Superheroes vs. Street Fighter has that one extra character in the Japanese version. You can see him in the background when I hit the button. See? So this one was in the arcade and it was on the Dreamcast. This is a Naomi title, I think. You can also get this on the original Xbox. And I had the digital version on PS3 that had come out, but it ended up getting delisted. So that's the other thing, what I was kind of getting at earlier in the video, is just some of these games have been delisted, you know, so this may be the third, fourth, fifth time they're getting released, but finally it's just you can get all of them on one disc or one cartridge on modern platforms, and that's just always a positive, you know, just expose a wider audience. So look at this massive, unbalanced character roster. Now, on the Dreamcast version, you had to actually, like, unlock all of these characters. You'd got points and stuff, and it was stupid. But I want to pick some characters that were not in the other games. So Cable's probably the cheapest character in the game now. Yeah. And now you can actually play as Guile. So this is one of the teams I like to do just because those three characters are not in the other games. And Thanos is playable too. So at the end of this, you got to fight Abyss, and he's got 3 phases, and oh, he's an asshole. But look at these goofy-ass 3D backgrounds, man. So now I'm just going to go in here real quick. So now this one is 3 versus 3, and they knocked it down to only 4 attack buttons. This all looks good. Okay. Oh wait, I'm using Type A filtering right now? That's fine. Okay. Alright. That's cool. Yeah. And then you got this like jazz soundtrack, which is fine, but I prefer the MIDI sounds of the old CPS2 games. And then you got to switch between characters. Yep. And then you can have each person come in. So I thought this game was too chaotic. You've got, you know, 3 versus 3, but then you constantly have people jumping in to do these extra moves and stuff. So there aren't too many games that have Charlie and Guile. I mean, Alpha 3 did, but... So Charlie started out as more or less a reskinned Guile, but I like how in Street Fighter V they were made into 2 distinctly different characters. Oh. Oh yeah, and Jill can heal you as one of her support moves. There we go. And then Cable is just fucking cheap as hell. This is what you do with Cable. Ready? This is how you beat the game. You pick Cable, and you just keep doing this. He's so fucking cheap. I hope he finds his way into Marvel Rivals, because that would be freaking hilarious. And this is the thing, though, like, a lot of these fights just, they go so long. Like, I have so many fights in this game that just end when time runs out, because it just takes too long to take out all these people, you know? But the one time I tried to play this game online, long time ago on PS3, like, some guy, he picked Strider, and I didn't land a single hit on him. He just kept doing these endless air combos, and he beat me in 20 seconds, and I didn't land a single hit. So, That's what you're up against online, people who have no life outside of this specific game. There are people who have been playing this game every single day since it came out in the arcades. And you're not going to beat them. But this is a broken-ass game for the most part. Very unbalanced character roster. And I really just don't like it as much as the other ones. And then Marvel vs. Capcom 3 was a lot of fun to play, but that maintained the 3 vs. 3 format. It added in Deadpool, Dante, Chris Redfield, you know, some new people. Personally, I really enjoyed Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite because it went back to the 2 vs. 2 format, and I think it had... I don't know if it had 4 or 6 attack buttons, but I just thought it was a better game. Although most people disagree with that. And they recently put out a fan mod that just updates the graphics for the most part, but I don't have the PC version. I haven't felt compelled to buy that or install that at all. But it's like it's already been like 40 seconds and I haven't taken anybody out. And what'll happen is when you run out of time, the winner is whoever has more total life across all characters. So I've had instances where I had 3 injured characters and they had 1 character who never came out at all, and they won the fight because just the total health was higher. So that can be annoying. But I think it's possible to change the settings to give yourself infinite time. Well, maybe only against other people. But there's also all these tutorials and stuff built in, so if you've never played this game before, there are tools to help you learn. And again, you can just lower the difficulty. There's no shame in that at all. Yeah. There's the infinite rocket launcher. So almost out of time already. You know, so I don't know. I think this is just not a very good game, to be honest. I don't know why some people are obsessed with it. It's probably the worst in the series, if you want my opinion. And that's why you're here, right? And then she's just a weird character. In the next game, they made her completely different, and they used the design from Resident Evil 5. And she's not very good in that game, but she's fun to play in this one. So it's weird. Something's weird because I'm not hearing some of the sound effects, which is odd, but that's alright. Okay. So I'm going to jump into this real quick. Yeah. So this is just a pretty standard beat 'em up. Nothing really special about it. Like, this is like Super Nintendo graphics here. Yeah, this definitely sounds like the Super Nintendo sound card. Although this is an arcade port. But this is all the game is. Very basic Final Fight style beat 'em up. What's going on back there? Oh, it's the Punisher! Frank Castle! Oh no, we're screwed. And then, yeah, you pick up, like, guns and stuff. It's pretty wild. Yeah. It's fine. Oh, yeah, and then so there's just karate people just show up out of nowhere, you know. It's ridiculous. It's fine. Nothing wrong with this game. It's just kind of generic, though. Like, and you know me, I'm a Sega guy. I'm a Streets of Rage fan. You know, I don't care about Final Fight. Although I love Cadillacs and Dinosaurs. That game's friggin' awesome. Hold still so I can beat your ass. Oh. And it says I have 5 Bs, but I wouldn't know how to use those. Oh. Okay. That's neat. Oh, no. Yeah, and this game's hard, too. Oh, I think I'm just on the default settings, so I don't think I get any extra lives. I don't know. I think I have 2 lives, yeah. Because it's already saying 0 at this point. There we go. Alright. So yeah, nothing really special about this game, but it's still cool that it's in here. I think there's another game that just never got ported to modern platforms. Yeah, that's the Punisher. You know, he got what he wanted, so then he shoots you anyways, just beats the shit out of you. Okay, so if I jump and press the special button, then I throw a grenade. Okay, got it. Yeah, and this really isn't as fun as, like, the X-Men arcade game or the Simpsons arcade game, you know. I've played better beat-em-ups, that's all. Yeah, and I don't know why there's ninja girls, but sure, why not? And karate guys and... Oh, Japan. You had some wacky video games in the 90s, and they're amazing. Yeah. Welcome to the 90s, folks. Oh, I can jump off the wall? Oh, cool. So... Alright, so yeah, I don't feel like playing this anymore. Display and sound marquee card. Oh yeah, the marquee card. This is what you would have seen on the side of the arcade cabinet. Oh, okay. And you can do quick saves, quick loads. And then, yeah, so here's your difficulty, here's your bonus lives, initial lives. Yeah. Okay. So I'm just going to go back. I'm not going to play online, but then you have your... Okay, yeah. You have these settings here. Alright. Oh, that's interesting. And the game has, like, achievements built in. So... They don't really do anything, it's just, you know, something fun to do. Although I'm sure these have corresponding trophies on PS4 and achievements on Steam. But yeah, and it's just interesting because there's stuff in here like, oh, beat it with a hidden character. But look at this, you want to get gold awards, complete each game, and complete each game with every character. Who's going to do that? Somebody is. All the power to you, right? So if we go over to the museum, we've got the gallery. And you can listen to all the soundtracks. I think this one has the best soundtrack, really. Yeah. Yeah. I just love that MIDI sound, you know. This is what Street Fighter Alpha 1 and 2 sounded like. This is what Mega Man X sounded like. Just love this music, I gotta tell you. Yeah. Now, I thought the game had, like, tutorials and stuff. Guess not. Oh, training.
X-Men versus Street Fighter.
Okay. Okay, let me see what this is all about.
Let's go, bub. Ready.
Oh, here we go. Alright, yes. So this is showing you their hitboxes, frame data. Oh, wow, this is great. Yeah. I know there's a lot of people who would be very happy about this. So there you go. There is a training mode. Ah, see? Yeah, there we go. Oh, this is great. Okay, yeah. So here's a good place for you to go to try to get better at the game. Yeah, see, I told you I could do these air combos. What did I tell you? I know I could do them under the right circumstances. If they would just hold still, I could do all the combos. Alright. So, I've been playing this for an hour now. I thought this was a pretty in-depth video. Help you decide if you want to get this or not. But no, this is a recommended game. Although, if you don't like fighting games, you probably won't like it that much. But, you know, there's a specific type of person that would really be into this. You know, people like me who played these games in the arcade and on the Saturn. You know, people who love fighting games. So, definitely worth picking up. So, thanks for tuning in, and see you next episode. Goodbye.